for this next exercise, I want you to kind of visually, you don't have to, but if you want, you could, again, let's draw a frame around my paper. So I'm kind of creating a composition. I have what's called a picture frame, meaning this box within my paper that just serves as a visual guide in order for me to kind of start a composition. And I'm going to divide it right through the middle, right in half, just so visually I could maintain space between these two. There we go. So we're going to do two exercises here. It's the same, but we're going to do it twice. And the key thing here is clockwise, and I'll just put an arrow here, meaning we go this way. And this one's going to be counterclockwise. So for this one, I want to make sure my pencil is fully sharpened. I'm going to start right at the center, and I'm going to start with the clockwise first. So I'm going to add a tiny little dot. Once again, with the proper grip. We're dealing with this all day long, trying to figure out what is my range of motion? What are my possibilities? How do I solve this problem? Drawing this type of line. This type of line is going to be starting from a little dot. I don't know if you could see it. Yeah, you could see it. I am going to just draw a little circle all the way around it. So here we are. I drew a tiny little dot, and with the proper grip, I just want to go ahead and draw tiny little circles that, again, are going to be so close to each other. Clockwise. Continue with 360. Now, the key here is to really put these lines as close to the previous as possible. And kind of try to maintain, yeah, soon it tries to become like an oval or an egg or something else. But you rearrange the line, continue finding, this one's really good for, again, range of motion, but also for your pace. So you're getting a sense of pace. Obviously, once again, your grip pressure. Now, remember, we're drawing one circle at a time, not a spiral, like one of those never-ending spirals. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Oops, this way. So notice that I'm drawing one circle at a time, trying to keep that line as close to the last one as possible. Notice, again, your pace. Notice what's happening to your body, your posture, how your breath even is responding. Sometimes I, oh my, that's not good, holding your breath. You got to breathe easy. All these things that affect the quality of your line. Don't forget, we are going clockwise all the way through. There will be a point that if you are leaning your hand on the paper, you will begin to smudge those lines that have been laid down there previously. So try to keep a little bit of, keep that in mind. I'm grabbing my pencil a little bit longer. Oops. Maintaining a nice quality of pace. Really trying to understand my range of motion. We're almost like, you know how a gymnast, and I wouldn't dare to compare. But again, the control that a gymnast can tell you they have over their body, and every individual muscle tells them exactly what they need to know about their balance. And in a sense, you feeling that in your arm, in your muscle, in your back, sometimes the back of your neck, how we're postured is crucial. And as this gets bigger and bigger, you're presented with a new form of a challenge, which is, oh boy, these get bigger and bigger. My range of motion, my pace, my line quality is shifting. What do I do to maintain? And it almost becomes a game where everybody wins. Because all you're doing is getting better and better and better. The one thing would be to quit. I can't do this. I give up. Then the circle wins. So once we begin to reach the edges of that frame, we can call it as okay, that's big enough. And I can continue going. I want to kind of go all the way to the other side. So I just start at the edge of this frame and go, oops, that's a little too much space in between those lines. And I notice that the bigger my circle gets, the farther out my lines are getting from each other. So that's one of those problems that you want to keep an eye on, keep an eye out for. And there we are. Let me zoom back out just a little bit. And guess what? We get to do this again. But we get to do it counterclockwise. So adding a little dot, and we start. Don't rush it. Sometimes we feel like, I just want to be done with this. Let's get it over with. No matter what level of skill you are right now, this is always something that will challenge you. As I said, at any skill level. Because even if you are the greatest drawing master, you will find a way to continue challenging yourself. And whether that's with pace or perfection or distance between the lines or pressure or even quality of line or even time. At some point, yeah, can you do one of these, a whole thing in 30 seconds? That could be another challenge. I don't think a good one because, again, you'll be just rushing right through them. But like I said, no matter the skill level, there is always going to be something that you are going to need to work on. Grabbing the pencil a little bit longer. Remember, do not do an infinite spiral. Do one circle at a time and stop every time you end one. How close could you put these lines to each other? That's the ultimate challenge. And that really would demand absolute control of every aspect of it: grip, range of motion, pace, but control to actually visualize and create lines that are just almost overlapping each other in this almost perfect circular shape with all of these size variations. That's a great challenge. And that's how I hope you see these. It's almost like a workout where you just get stronger and stronger the more you do it. And it is something you could do every single day. All of these practices that we just looked at, it wouldn't take you more than 5 to 10 minutes. And if you did this, oops, my goodness, they are getting a little too organic. If you did this practice 5 to 10 minutes every single day for a week, I guarantee you amazing results, new discoveries of infinite possibilities. And then maybe you become hooked on drawing, which would be amazing. So there we go. And again, I look at the final result, the final product. It's more about how it felt. It's paying attention to how I felt while I was doing it, how so I can understand why it looks like this. That is going to be the key. And it takes a lot of paying attention while you are in the process without becoming too um, conscious in a way or overconscious of focusing on the things that you should not be focusing on at that moment in order for it to just flow. One final thing. We're going to go back to the clockwise, and I want you to now put your pencil right at the center, and you're going to draw a line that goes from the center to 12 o'clock, then from the center clockwise to 3 o'clock, from the center to 6 o'clock, from the center to 9 o'clock. And then I'm going to place a line, again, clockwise, halfway between these two, halfway between these two, halfway between these two, halfway between these two. And I'm going to start again. Halfway between these two now. And clockwise, you're going to draw what I said earlier, every single possible line that you could draw. There are no other lines that are not in this exercise. If you can come up with one, please let me know. I've been searching for it for years. It is every direction, 360 from circular curvature to now radial, and see how far you could take it. We're going to continue splitting these sections clockwise into halves. And you will, again, pay attention to which segment of your 360 area, which line feels free-flowing, which one feels easy, which one's, yikes, give you a little struggle. I already found one right here, 10 o'clock. And at some point you'll stop. I think you could keep going further and further until, again, you would almost overlap those lines. And then we're going to do it this way from center to 12. But again, we're going counter clockwise. 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So we're going back in time. And then halfway this way, halfway this way, halfway this way. Always starting from the center, always outwards, always counterclockwise. See, so here, 7 o'clock is the one that somehow I need to adjust my posture because I get a little bit of a curvature right at the beginning. It corrects itself at the end. I can actually see the line easy. There is no resistance, no struggle. But finding those that give you a little bit of, they ask for extra attention. It's like that squeaky wheel. The line is telling you, hey, Hello, over here. Those are the ones you want to work on more and more and more. So I would want to work on diagonal lines that go from top to bottom and vary the angle of it. And I would do practices that would develop that comfort with different lengths, different pace. Perfect. I hope you guys really enjoy this exercise. It is a really, really good one.